Weekly status. A summary of the most important geopolitical, war and military events that took place in the last week. CNN released the full message exchange between Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre and US President Donald Trump. Trump told the Norwegian leader that he no longer felt bound to think purely of peace because the Norwegian Nobel Committee didn't award him the Nobel Peace Prize. The meeting between the commander of the Syrian Democratic Forces, Mazdum Abdi, and Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara that was aimed at de-escalating tensions between Syrian government and Kurdish-led autonomy reportedly ended up in failure. Following the collapse of peace talks, Syria found itself on the verge of a larger armed conflict. Syrian Democratic Forces and affiliated groups in northeastern Syria started mobilizing following declarations of armed resistance against the Syrian government forces that were pushing deeper into the SDF-controlled areas in the last few weeks. More and more reports started to emerge about massacres and widespread violence across Syria. Russia carried out another attack on the Ukrainian energy infrastructure, including in Kyiv. According to the spokesman for the Ukrainian Air Force, Yuri Ihnat, the Russians launched at least one rarely used Zircon hypersonic cruise missile during this attack. After a week of tensions, Syrian government announced a preliminary 4-day ceasefire with the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces, during which a plan to integrate Hasakah Governorate of Syria with the state will be discussed. Damascus said that no troops will enter major cities controlled by Kurdish-led administration if an agreement can be cemented. Ukrainian forces conducted strikes on the thermal power plants located in the cities of Belgorod and Orel in western Russia. The Ukrainians also hit a Russian ammunition depot located in a Russia-occupied town of Debaltseve, Donetsk Oblast of Ukraine, causing a powerful ammunition detonation. US forces carried out an operation to seize the Panama-flagged Sagitta tanker in the Caribbean Sea. US Treasury Department identifies Sagitta as part of Russia's shadow fleet. Speaking at the Davos Economic Forum, US President Trump said that NATO has treated the United States of America very unfairly in the past.
I just say this NATO has treated the United States of America very unfairly. We never asked for anything. We never got anything. We actually took care of the needs of NATO for years and years, which I felt was always unfair. So I got NATO to pay because they're rich countries. But I think it's time that NATO step up. We're helping them with Ukraine. Without us, I think Putin would have gone all the way. I think we have it. I think there could have been a World War III, if you want to know the truth, if Kamala was elected or Joe.
US President Trump announced he held a very productive meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, during which a framework for a future deal on Greenland has been created. Importantly, Trump also declared that due to this development, he won't be imposing tariffs on 8 European countries from February 1st, as he threatened to do last week. US President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky met at the Davos Economic Forum in Switzerland to discuss the settlement of the Russia-Ukraine war. Trump described the meeting with Zelensky as very good, while the Ukrainian leader said that the documents on ending the war were almost ready. As the efforts to find a solution to end the war between Russia and Ukraine continued, US envoys Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff visited Moscow, where they met with Russian officials, including President Putin. French President Macron announced that the French Navy seized an oil tanker belonging to Russia's Shadow Fleet during an operation in the Mediterranean Sea. Macron noted that the action was carried out with the support of several of France's allies, and that a judicial investigation has been opened into the tanker's operations. The tanker in question is the Comoros flag Grinch, carrying Russian oil from the port of Murmansk in northern Russia. The ship was apprehended by the French near Gibraltar. Ukrainian drones struck a fuel depot in the Russian city of Penza, causing fire at the facility. Penza is located over 550 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. Russian and Ukrainian delegations met face-to-face in Abu Dhabi to discuss the settlement of the war. The talks were brokered by the United States and lasted for 2 days, although not much progress was said to be made. Russia launched another vast attack on Ukrainian energy infrastructure, with explosions hitting Kyiv and other places. The strikes left over 1.2 million properties across Ukraine without power, according to Ukrainian authorities. The Russians attacked a Ukrainian helicopter base located near the city of Kropyvnytsky in central Ukraine with Shahed-type long-range strike drones. According to Ukrainian sources, at least one Mi-24 helicopter was destroyed while a Mi-8 was damaged during this attack. Notably, according to Ukrainian military radio technology expert Sergei Flash, during this attack, the Russians employed, for the first time, Shahed drones equipped with Starlink antennas. In a follow-up to his statement from Thursday, Ukrainian President Zelensky announced that the US security guarantees document for Ukraine was completed and ready to be signed. The Houthis from Yemen threatened to carry out new attacks against shipping in the Red Sea amid ongoing American military buildup in the Middle East and US-Iran tensions. The group published the video currently seen on the screen with caption, "Soon." And here's the bonus of the week. French President Macron wearing sunglasses and saying "for sure" at the Davos Economic Forum.
Do in terms of strong ambitions, having a place like Europe, which sometimes is too slow, for sure, and needs to be reformed, for sure, but which is predictable, loyal, and where you know that the rule of the game is just the rule of law, it's a good place.
List of the sources is in the description. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.